Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes to allow other participants to also join and settle down, and then we'll get started. So, hope that it will be okay with everyone. In the meantime, I'm going to share with you a few important points and something which is commonly discussed in our previous webinars as well. The first point is something which gets almost asked in every webinar, and I'll just need a second to check on the live stream. I'm just seeing an error, so I'll just need a moment to check on that, and I'll be back with you. So just bear with me for a few moments. All right, thanks. So I was mentioning to you that in the meantime, while we are waiting for other participants to join and we'll get started in a couple of minutes, in the meantime, I mentioned that I'm going to share with you a few important points or things which will help you get the maximum benefit from this webinar. The first very common question which gets asked, although it is not of significant importance, but something which is very common in almost every session that I'm doing, and it is not just sessions that I'm doing in India, even overseas, this question is kind of common. And the question is, will we get the recording of the webinar? Yes, certainly you will get the recording of the webinar. In fact, it is currently live streamed on YouTube, and we'll share the recording with you. So that is the first question which gets quite frequently asked. The second question is, how will we interact with you? How will we get answers to our questions? So certainly you will be sharing some information with us in the webinar. And if we have a question, if there's anything which is not clear to us, how will we ask our question? That is obviously the second point, which quite frequently gets discussed or gets asked. So towards the end of the session, we'll break into a question answer round, and that's where we will discuss all the questions, queries that you may have. But that does not mean that you have to wait all the way till the end of the session to ask your question. You can use, so down below, if you're joining through a laptop or desktop, you'll see there's an option which says Q&A. You can use that feature to ask question. And chat is another feature which we will be using for our interactions. So if there's anything on which I want to seek your input, like what is your understanding or what do you think about this particular topic or particular item. So for that, we will be using chat. Please avoid adding your questions. So technically, you can also add your questions in the chat. There's nothing stopping you. But what happens? Sometimes there's a lot of exchange happening in the chat. So members are adding messages. Some members are interacting among themselves. And because of that, there's a possibility that your question might get missed out. So if you don't want your question to be missed out, it is better to add it in Q&A, right? So where should you add your question? In the Q&A. So down below, you'll see there's an option which says Q&A. You should add your question in the Q&A. And for our interactions, or if you want to interact with other wonderful members who are joining us here today, you can use chat. In fact, I will recommend that you should be interacting and networking with the other wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today. Because if just imagine if we had been meeting physically, we had been meeting, and this webinar had been happening in a five stars banquet hall, then other than obviously listening to me, because you would come to the webinar to listen to me, so other than obviously listening to the speaker, the other very, very important activity that we typically do is to connect and network with other wonderful participants that are there. And you can do that same thing here also. And God knows you may be able to find a buyer or supplier in this session, right? So just a side suggestion that I'm sharing with you, that if you want, you can also network in this session. And for that, you can use the chat. All right, so I think I have spoken enough about these two important points. There's one more point I wanted to share with you. And this is the last one. Don't worry. He keeps on sharing one point after another. So the last point is regarding screen share. And obviously, in next 1 minute, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Now, sometime it happens, and this is not happened in every webinar that I do, but in some of the webinars, what had happened when I started sharing the screen, few of the participants, they were not able to see the screen. And what was the root cause? So there were the two root causes for that. The first one was the application, the Zoom application that they were using. It was a outdated or a old version, and because of that, they were facing the issue. So solution is just to update the version, and that will fix the issue. And the second is low bandwidth. So if you are on a slow connection, then you may feel a little buffering. So I may like audio and the what you're seeing on the screen may not sync up. So that is typically because of the slow connection speed. So in that case, you'll have to look into your internet bandwidth. So those are the two primary causes that, sorry, I have a bad throat, so please bear with me. So those were two primary causes that caused this issue when the screen share starts and you're not able to see. So God forbid if you face the same issue, then this is what you have to do. If the application is outdated, update it. And if internet bandwidth is come, so please look into that. All right, so this is where now I will start sharing my screen. Now, while I am doing that, let me give a quick introduction about myself. My name is Adnan, and I'm not sure how many of you had previously attended my workshops or webinars, but I actively do webinars and workshops. So as I was mentioning, my name is Adnan. I am Director SME Commerce Growth at GlobalLinker, and my functional or my focus area at GlobalLinker is digital commerce. But in addition to that, I actively work on sharing knowledge with business owners on how they can use digital technology, especially with respect to online selling. So online selling or digital commerce is my forte. And I try to share as much knowledge as possible with business owners because I believe in a philosophy that in today's day and age, thanks to the advancements in technology and AI, etc., there are so many solutions available which we can leverage to grow our business effortlessly. But many of business owners are not aware of those solutions, and that's where we try our best to share as much knowledge as possible. And we conduct a lot of training sessions, we conduct a lot of webinars, and so far I have conducted more than 400 such sessions and had the amazing opportunity of connecting and interacting with more than 12,000 businesses or 12,000 business owners in various countries. All right, so that was a quick introduction about myself. Now, as I mentioned, I'm working on sharing my screen. So you'll start seeing my screen. And as I'm doing that, let me also move the Q&A and chat in the other monitors so that if you are asking me a question, I can at least see that and respond to it. So that's where let's get started. I can see there are a few participants who have just joined. So welcome to you as well in today's session. And let me minimize the action bar. Otherwise, it will keep blocking your view. And that will not be very nice. It is actually very irritating. When I personally attend other speakers' presentations, that's where if I keep seeing those kind of annoying action bars on the top, it looks a little distracting and irritating sometimes. All right, so this is where we are getting started, and it is sort of my duty to welcome all because there are many participants who have joined a little late. So welcome everyone to today's session, and this is where we are getting started. Now, I will need little help from you, and the help that I need is a confirmation that you are able to see my screen. So if anyone from the audience can confirm using the chat that you are able to see my screen, that will be really great. Just chat yes that you are able to see my screen. Thanks, Aditi. Thanks, Ranjan. Thanks for letting me know that you're able to see my screen. So I am going to use a combination of presentation and a live walkthrough to help you understand our global income marketplace and how you can list your business on global income marketplace. All right, so let's begin. And I am a firm believer in the concept that if the why is clear, everything else, which is how and why, how and what, falls into place very, very easily. And I'm not sure how many of you had read a very, very interesting book. It is called Start with Why. Sorry for the fumble, by Simon Sinek. It's a amazing book. So if you had a chance, you can, if you're into book reading, you can consider reading that. But the core is that if the why, the reason is clear, then everything else falls into the place, right? So why should you list, right? So how can you list is something obviously I am here to share with you. But why should you list? Why should you make that effort? Because there's a financial side to it, but there's an opportunity side to it, to anything and everything that we do, right? So if I'm sitting here talking to you, I could have done something else, right? So there's an opportunity cost associated with everything that we do throughout the day, every day. There's an opportunity cost side to it. Now, despite the fact that there's no monetary consideration, but other than that, there's opportunity cost. You are not doing something, you are sacrificing something for doing this activity, right? So that's where it is crucial, it is important that why is clear. There's also another very interesting psychological case study, and you can Google it and you can read about it. So otherwise, there's another book which is called Feel Good Productivity. You can read about that psychological case study, but that is the case study which I was mentioning to you. It is about the commander's intent. That basically again links back with why. That if the why is clear, everything else falls into place. And a very powerful real life example, which is highlighted related to commander's intent, is the D-Day in World War II. So that's where when the Allied forces were doing the paratrooper landing in Germany, in France. So that's where it all went haywire. They landed in different places. Their equipment was somewhere else, etc., etc. But because the commander's intent was absolutely clear in the minds of every troop, so what happened? Within hours, they were able to figure out and they were able to create alternate routes and they were able to facilitate the troop movement, etc. Right? So all that happened. Why? Because why it was clear. Why they were doing that? What was their objective? That was absolutely clear. So that is why it is crucial. It is important that you are clear about why. So we are going to just spend our energy on one presentation, and I've just added few bullet points to help you out understand that. Although I can imagine that it must be obviously clear. Now, the first reason why you should be listing on GlobalLinker Marketplace is that you are also creating your own digital presence. Now, what is your own digital presence? Can anyone let me know in the chat? What do you think? What is your own digital presence? And while you're doing that, while you're adding that, let me move on to the second point. The second point is better and richer catalog. And this is something that you'll be able to understand when I explain the listing process. There are certain criteria, there are certain ground rules that are laid out. And when you're complying to those ground rules, what you're creating is a richer and a better information that will not only help you with your presence on GlobalLinker Marketplace, but elsewhere as well. So that is the second point, but I'm still waiting for your inputs on the first point, that is own digital presence. What do you think? What is own digital presence? So I think the audience or the participants are not very clear. So just give me a quick second. This is, by the way, the control panel. And I am going to, in fact, I can see one of the participant here, Bipin Ji. I am going to open his digital presence also. I can see the, yeah. So there are two participants who have responded what digital presence is, which your product and easily can be found online. Perfect, Mithul, Miss Mithul Gandhi ji, you are absolutely correct. And what I'm showing you are examples of digital presence. So these are examples of digital presence. This is a natural beauty product brand. So this is their own online store that they have created on GlobalLinker, right? So this is their own presence. Then this is separate from what you have on GlobalLinker Marketplace. So this is your own digital presence that you're creating. And this is a digital presence of one of the participants. I can see he chatted few minutes ago, and this is Bipinji's, and it is his digital presence. I thought of just showing it here. So this is his digital presence. So other than his presence on ONDC and other than his presence on Global Income Marketplace or the export portal, Indian Business Portal, he has his own digital commerce website through which he can attract customers directly. He can run promotions. He can run online advertising campaigns. He can bring in the traffic and he can convert, right? So if tomorrow there's someone who is looking for Shift Textiles, they will be able to find him and his business directly and independently rather than just their profiles on some other platform. So this is your own digital presence that you're also creating as part of the offering. So that's the first, obviously, reason why you should be listing on Global Income Marketplace, because in addition to a visibility, a presence on the marketplace, you're also getting your own entity for your business, right? So that is one very powerful reason. Then is a better and richer catalog, which we will be understanding in finer details as we move on, and better visibility, which is needless to say. And here, again, I'll take few of your precious minutes to help you understand, not minutes. I think we should be done in 1 minute. But this where I'm not sure how many of you have created a website and tried to sell online. And you will agree if you have done that, that it is quite an exhaustive process, wherein obviously it requires a lot of attention, a lot of effort on your side, plus financial resources. And many businesses are not able to do that. Plus, the kind of visibility which a marketplace can create, where the volume of the customers is like many times, almost 100x more than what you can achieve on yourself. Obviously, you get a greater visibility, and that greater visibility results in what? It results in more inquiries, it results in more orders, it results in better brand recognition also. It is not that someone has seen your product and they will just be placing order on the marketplace. A lot of time what people do is that they see the product on the marketplace and then they come to your website, which is your own digital presence, and that's where they place an order. So you are getting more eyeballs and you are getting more visibility by being present on the Global Income Marketplace, and that will lead to more inquiries. Now, you might be wondering, like, just to fill up this space, he has written more inquiries and more order, but there is a reason why I have done that, because on Global Income Marketplace, there are two varieties of inquiries. And to help you understand that, I'm going to again switch my screen and take you to the Global Income Marketplace. I have that open here. So here, just imagine that you're a customer and you are looking for something. So you can come here and you can send in an inquiry or you can place an order. I'll just open this product. So there is a product. This is from a seller called Mahavir Home Store. And as a customer, if I want to buy, I can buy it. I can send in the inquiry. Now, in addition to this, I can send a generic inquiry as a buyer, or when I am sending the inquiry, obviously I'll have to log into my account. I can also see who are the other sellers selling similar products. So even if the customer hasn't found you, but the system is recommending that, hey, this seller also has a similar product, would you want to send the inquiry? That's where it increases or it amplifies your visibility. It amplifies the number of inquiries. Otherwise, as a seller, you might get one inquiries, but now because the system is making that recommendations, that's where you will get higher number of inquiries and it will benefit obviously everyone. This is one type of inquiries which are coming, which is where customer is putting in the effort and finding the product, and then they are sending the inquiry that, hey, we need X number of units. Now, in case you're confused, like why would they not place an order? Why would they send the inquiry? So obviously, if it is a retail customer, they'll place an order. But if it is a wholesale customer, someone who needs, let's say, 100 bottles of that product we were seeing. So in that case, obviously, they'll not be placing an order. They'll be looking for a special price. And for that, they'll be sending an inquiry, hi, we need these many units. And then you can respond back. There's a price I can offer. And then you can take the discussion forward. Right? So that is one. Second is journal quotation. So this is where the buyer is not going and putting the effort of finding the product. They're simply coming here, placing a inquiry that this is what I need. I need 10 tons of basmati rice. They'll post an inquiry, and if you happen to be a basmati rice wholesaler, then you can respond back. So it is again published on your profile. Now, all the businesses that are part of GlobalLinker Marketplace, they obviously get an email update that there's an inquiry relevant to your business. Obviously, we are not bombarding our sellers with irrelevant inquiry, but if it is from your industry, has some level of relevance to you, even if you don't have that product, but it is of the same industry, you may be knowing someone, right? So your friend may be having that product. And so that's why we circulate it to all the members who are from that particular industry. So, for example, if there's a inquiry related to a construction product, construction, so we circulate it with all the members who are from construction industry, right? So obviously we'll not blindly circulate, like you are into, let's say, cosmetics, and we are sending you an inquiry of construction. That is absolutely irrelevant wastage of our time and your time. We don't do that, but from the industry, and if you're part of GlobalLinker Marketplace, you will get that inquiry, right? All those inquiries are displayed here. You'll get an email update, obviously, and they are, so there's a biodegradable bag printing ink. So there's someone who's wanting 10 kgs of that. And if you're someone who's supplying this, then you can click on view details, and then you can reply also. While you're replying, you have to obviously reply with one of the product and what the pricing and what quantity, etc. And add all that, and you can submit your response, and then buyer can decide whom they would want to work with, and then they'll connect with you. All right. And if you want to exchange your number and their number, so you can do a message exchange with the buyer also. All right. So that is over the inquiries. On orders is obviously customers placing an order. So they are reviewing your product and placing your order. So these are the reasons why you should be listing on GlobalLinker Marketplace. Now, although this is also a very powerful reason why I should be. If I was in your place, I would certainly do that just because of the one reason. But this is also a very important reason, and you'll appreciate why am I saying that, because all of us are not expert in digital commerce or online sales, right? I may be an expert, but all of us, and I was not an expert many, many years ago, right? So when it comes to adding the information in the right way, that's where many of us are quite disadvantaged, and a lot of people just do whatever is necessary. If a field is necessary, they'll add few words just to make sure that it is compliant with, but they don't put in the effort to make it comply or to make it richer so that they can get the maximum benefit. And that boils down back to the point that because they don't realize, it is not like I'm saying that they deliberately do that. They don't understand the importance of the content, and that's why they're ignoring. But this is where the marketplace forces you to create good quality content. Obviously, you can use AI to help you out, but that's where when you're creating good quality content, it will help you across across all the digital channels on the marketplace, on your online store. And if you're listing on other channels, for example, ONDC, it will help you there as well. All right, so now let's move on and let's try to understand how to list it. So there are two types of criterias. First is a business criteria, and which involves that you must be having an account on GlobalLinker, and which I'm guessing all of you already have. Second is you must have an online store. Unless you have created an online store, you'll not be able to obviously list on GlobalLinker Marketplace. How do you create an online store is something which I've explained in detail in a video. I'll share the link of that video towards the end of the session. And the third is your account must be GST verified. If it is unverified, you will not be able to list on GlobalLinker Marketplace. And how can you verify that is something that I'll be sharing with you shortly. Second criteria or second type of criteria is the product criteria. What are those? So first one is related to the product images. Now this is where I've seen many businesses, they are just adding one image for the product. They think that it is more than enough. But put yourself in a customer's shoe. You're trying to convince yourself that this is the right product that you should be buying. You're not touching it, you're not feeling it, nothing, just looking at the images, looking at the visuals, you are making that decision. So tell me honestly, isn't your responsibility to help out the customer make that decision? And the most important thing that you can do to help out the customer is by adding more images. Right? So the first criteria is upload minimum 3 images, and each image should be distinct, unique, and avoid uploading multiple images, etc. Now, with respect to this particular point, I've like discussed or had interaction with members for quite at a length, and the reservations or the counter questions which I got was that we deal in a fairly industrial product or a B2B product. Now, obviously, it is not possible to like get the product shoot done from all the angles. So in that case, what you can do is you can create images, right? What are the features or benefits of the product, or what are your USPs as an organization, or if there are certain type of certifications which are required related to that product, add those certification, right? The intent is to help out the customer in making the purchase decision. So if it is possible for you to get the product shoot done from multiple angles, do that. If it is not possible, create separate images about the USPs and certification and add them so that you are qualifying the minimum criteria. And obviously, they shouldn't be like generic images that you're adding. Those should also add value in the purchase decision, right? So customer is trying to make that purchase decision. Those visuals which are adding should be helping out the customer in making that decision, right? So don't just add random images. The second criteria is related to description, and this is where you'll now understand better product catalog point, which was the second point I discussed that at length. So this is where you can see product description. Images, obviously, the system is forcing you that you should be uploading 3 images, right? So if you are falling behind, it is pushing you that you should be uploading 3 images. So it is obviously making you, it is already obviously pushing you to have a better catalog. And the second product criteria is related to description. So the summary description should be minimum 30 words, and the additional description, which is the long description, should be 70 words. So this is where, again, if you have not created a very descriptive product description, so it has many disadvantages. And obviously, as many of us are not from the industry, we are not expert into digital commerce, so we don't realize. So it is not like intentionally someone is doing that. They don't understand like what is the value. So that's why they don't add enough for detailed product description. Now, the disadvantages, as I was mentioning, first is related to your discoverability. So people will not be able to find you because your description is less, and obviously it will impact your search ranking. So obviously they'll not be able to find you. Second is your conversion. So even if someone manages to find you, they'll come to your product page on your website or on GlobalLinker Marketplace. Obviously, because you haven't added long descriptions, you'll not be able to list on GlobalLinker Marketplace. So just imagine that they come to your website. So they'll come, but because the information is so insufficient, they will think that it does not look like a professional organization and simply go away. So that will lead to a high bounce rate, and that will lead to a lower engagement time. And both of those are recorded, those are tracked by Google. And obviously, Google will make an understanding, they'll make an impression that your pages are leading to higher bounce rate and higher or lower engagement time. That means the pages are irrelevant and it will push them down in the visibility, right? So even if somehow you manage to bring the traffic, the visibility will go down because the engagement will be lesser, and the lesser engagement will also result in lower conversion. So even if you are spending top dollars and bringing the traffic, you'll not get the conversion. You'll just be burning your money, right? So that's why this is crucial. And this is not 30 characters, this is 30 words. So summary, description, and the long description is the additional description. And in case you are getting confused, let me show you that what I referring to. So this content which is added here, this is called summary, description, and all the content which goes here, they have it in 3 tabs. So it is called the additional information or the long description, right? So the bottom one is 70 words, the top one is 30 words. And obviously it is needless to say it should be unique, and you shouldn't be like using same description across multiple products. Now, what are the other mandatory requirements which are there? So product price should not be zero. Obviously, why would you be selling a product on zero price? Each product should have a distinct price. Avoid adding multiple products at the same price. Why is this? There can be a scenario wherein you have multiple products that have the same price. Now, it leads to a sort of peculiar kind of scenario. So you have many products that have the same price. So in that case, it will sort of appear that there is no difference. So if you come across that kind of scenario, if you have this genuine issue that you have many products that have the same price, in that case, add a different decimal value, right? So for example, 1,000 rupees is the price of, let's say, 10 products that you have. So you can make 1,025, some you 1,050. So even you can add decimal values, and that will help differentiate. So it will not create an illusion that like someone has forgotten to update the price, right? And that's where they'll perceive your product that there's something wrong. All the products are at the same price. There's something wrong with that, right? So to avoid that perception, to eliminate the possibility of someone creating that perception that this person has missed out on updating price. So for that, add distinct price, and that will help you avoid multiple products with the same price. The brand name must be added to each product. Now, this is something that many of you, if you have created online store, may not have done that. And why you have not done that? Obviously, because you don't deal in a popular brand. Had you been a retailer who's dealing in Adidas shoes, you'll more than happily add Adidas as the brand name. You like to highlight it like we have Adidas shoes, right? So you would like to do that. But if you're a seller, you're self-manufacturer, and even if you have a brand that is not a very popular brand, so you may not add it, and it is not a mandatory field. But if you have not added the brands, the product will not get listed on GlobalLinker Marketplace. So even if you don't deal in a popular brand, just add your business name as the brand name, and only then your products will be listed on GlobalLinker Marketplace. So it is a crucial point. It is an important point you shouldn't be missing out. And don't worry how you can add those and those kind of things. I will be explaining. I'll not just be talking over a presentation. I will also take you through the step-by-step process. Make sure you add a relevant ITC HS code. That is also important. It is important from taxation and tax calculation, and you getting the payment. So for all that, it is important. So you should be adding that. And the country of origin, it is mandatory. It is required by the law. So it should be there in your product. And the last one is the category mapping. Ensure that the products are getting mapped properly. This is also another mistake that we often see people make, but that's where our team corrects that mistake. So whenever you are listing a product, it goes through a verification process, and that's where we do a lot of this correction wherein people map the products to the wrong category. So we will correct that, even if you are making that mistake. But it is better not to make that mistake altogether, because what if someone misses out in correcting the category and your products are appearing in the wrong category, and you're missing out on the opportunity? People will not find your product, and if they're not able to find the product, you'll not get the business, right? So it is important that you're also mapping the categories properly. So this is the end of presentation, like not the end of the session, end of presentation. I'm not going to bore you any further with the presentation. We'll switch the screen and we'll go to the browser, and we'll quickly open the seller panel, the control panel. This is a demonstration account, by the way. So to help you understand how to list your product on GlobalLinker Marketplace, before that, we will quickly go through these points, And I'll help you understand, like, if you have to update, if you have to check, from where you can do that, right? So the first point is related to the visuals. How can you check how many images you have added? Now, there are two ways in which you can check that. The first one is you can do a manual check. If you don't have a very large catalog, you can do a visual check as well. So, for example, this particular product, you can click on edit, and my internet is a little slow, so please bear with me. So we can click on edit and we can check images. I think I've uploaded this product in bulk, so it will not be here. It will be in each variant. So that's where you can see that they're in the variants. We can go and we can quickly check how many images are there. So there are 4 images, which is good, which is nice. So we are good. We are not getting stuck in that challenge. Right. So this is one check that you can do. But what if you have a very large catalog? You have 5,000 products on your website. In that case, obviously opening each product and then checking will not be possible. So in that case, what you can do is you can download this file, download the CSV, and an Excel file will get downloaded onto your device. And that's where you'll find columns for images. You can review those columns. And I think the file is getting downloaded. So let it get downloaded and I'll just quickly open it and show to you what are the columns that you should be looking at. We close the other files. Yeah. So this is the file. Let me zoom in a little bit so that it is bigger. So this is the file which gets downloaded. Now, what is the use of this file? This file is predominantly or mostly used for updating price and inventory. That's the common use case of this file, but it is also used for multiple other things, that if you have to publish, unpublish the products in bulk, or if you have to add the product's dimensions and weight, which is used for calculating delivery fee, or if you have to set the sort order for all that, or if you have to add filters. This is the easiest way to add filters. This is the bulk, where here you are seeing the columns, and then few of the ONDC mandatory information is also added using this file. But like staying on the topic, not getting distracted. So this is where you can see there are two columns here, and this is where you have the URL. So if URL is there, that means the image is there. Now, this is one URL, so that means one image is there. What about other images? So those other images are added in this column. So I think here you can see there are comma separated images. So this is one image, this is the second one, and this is the third one, and this is the fourth one. So 5 images are there for this particular product, right? So using this file, you'll be able to check. But if you have uploaded products manually, like one product at a time, and you have uploaded one image, like all the variants have the same image, so in that case, they'll not be appearing here. But if you have uploaded in bulk, then obviously they will be visible here. And this particular scenario wherein you have a large catalog and you have to check in bulk obviously applies to the sellers who have a large catalog and they have uploaded the products in bulk. So you'll be able to come and check it here. All right. So this is for the first compliance requirement, which is there, how to check the product images. You can check it here, but the other part of the question remains that how will you add the images? You have identified like, hey, there is one product. I want to list it on GlobalLinker Marketplace, but unfortunately, I've just added one image. I want to add more. How can I do that? So just upload the image on the media manager and input the URL here. So I'll quickly show you that. We'll quickly go back to the seller panel. In the left navigation, you'll see there's an option which says My Store. You have to click on that, and you have to scroll down all the way to the bottom of the drop down, and that's where you'll see there's an option which says Media Manager. You have to click on that. I'm just opening that in another tab. So this is where you'll see all the images that you have uploaded. I have many folders. So you can upload the image in one of the folders and then copy the URL like this and come back here and paste it. And if you want to upload one more image, just comma, no space required, and paste it like that. So you can easily add the URLs, and then obviously you have to save this file, go back to the seller panel and use this button bulk edit CSV, upload the file, and you are done. You are compliant. Now you have 3 images or more than 3 images per product, right? So that is the first compliance requirement that we have to comply with, and this is how you will easily be able to comply with. The second is related to product description. Now, product description can again be reviewed manually. If you want to review it, you can just click on edit and you can go and you can review the product description. This is where we have the summary description, and this is where you have the long description. You can easily review it, and there are a lot of tools available online using which you can see the word count. What is the word count? In fact, I can share one tools with you. So this is called online character counter. So you can just copy paste your content here, and it has 313 words. The minimum is 30. We are way more over that. So that's how you can easily check that. Now, again, this is possible if you have a small catalog. If you have a large catalog, obviously it is not possible. So in that case, what you can do is you can download the files. We have to go back on the one screen back. And here you'll see there's an option which says download products. You have to download this file, and an Excel file will get downloaded, and then you have to apply a formula. A Excel lin formula can also work, or you can apply a little more advanced formula and you can count the words, or you can ask ChatGPT or Gemini to create a Excel formula for you and apply that to count how many words are there. But a thumb rule is that if you have something around 500 characters, that would be around 80 to 100 words. So you can use that thumb rule as well. This file takes a little longer as compared to the CSV file that we downloaded. Firstly, it is an Excel file, so it is heavier and it has a lot more information. So that's why it takes time. So let it get downloaded. And in the meantime, we'll quickly go to the presentation and see what are the other mandatory requirements. So the price should not be 0. And now I think our file is getting downloaded. So let's download this file and save it. Right, so this is the product file which gets downloaded, and this is related to the description. This is where you have the summary description, and in the joining column, you have the long description. So you can, you can simply apply a formula in the Excel file. So for example, here we can count the characters using the LEN formula, and we can give the reference of summary. So it has 441 characters. So somewhere around 70, 80 words are there, which is good enough. So similarly, you can do that. So in the Excel file, it is fairly easy. You can apply the formula and you can check which are the products which have less description, and then you can work on it. So for example, this particular product, if I apply the formula, then you'll see it has a less number of products. Only 5 characters are there. So obviously, this is a product on which we have to work to add more description so that it can be listed on GlobalLinker Marketplace. So that is related to the product description, how you can check. And that leads to another question related to this. Okay, now we have checked, we have identified the products that have less description. How can we update it in bulk? Manually, you can obviously edit it there in the interface itself and you can upload it. But if you have to update it in bulk, is it possible using this file? Yes, it is possible. In fact, that is the purpose of this file. If you have to edit the product, you have to change the title, if you have to change the description, if you have to change the brand name, if you have to change the or add the brand name, or if you have to change the category, if you have to add the SEO relevant meta title description, or if you have to add tags, label, HS code in bulk, or if you have to change the checkout type, all that is done using this file. In fact, the country of origin also can be added or updated in bulk using this file, right? So very powerful and very useful file using which you'll be able to do a lot of things. But with respect to that particular point which we were discussing, that is product description, ensuring that the summary is 30 words and the long description or additional description, which is this one, is at least 70 words. We can easily make sure that using the Excel file, and if you have to update it, we can also update it. All right. So that is related to the product description. Then we have mandatory information. Product price should not be 0. So product price should not be 0. So this is the Excel file in which you can easily check that. You can check that manually as well. So this is where you can see the selling price and discount price. You have to just ensure that it is greater than 0. And if you have to check it manually, you can also do that very easily. You can click on edit, and this is where you can see the pricing of the product. So just click on the product title and you'll be able to see. Now, related to price, Bipinji has added a question: free product must be price 0. So Bipinji, although I would have love to explain you in detail, but if you are wanting to offer a product as free, so for example, a lot of sellers do buy one, get one free. So you are going to buy one product and you'll get another product free. Or, for example, sellers in the cosmetic space, they often run campaigns like you're buying a moisturizer and they'll give you a perfume sample free, right? So those kind of things are quite common in the industry. Now, to do that, now to achieve that, what you have to do, you don't have to price a product as 0. What you have to do is you have to use a promotional tool. And please, everyone, excuse me, I'm just taking you to for a moment. I'm just trying to answer Vipinji's question because it is related to the price. So that's why I'm taking it up. So his question is, if I want to offer a free products, in that case, obviously, I would want to add a price 0. You shouldn't do that. You should upload even the free product as a regular product with pricing details, all that properly. And then you use a promotional tool. So if you go to promotions, that's where you'll see there is a promotional tool called schemes. And that's where you have to create a, let's say, buy one, get one free scheme. So I may have already created that. Here it is, buy one, get one free. So I'll just edit to show you. Obviously, I'm not going to do a demonstration and we don't have time. But for example, on this demonstration store, I want to create a campaign. If someone is buying a smartwatch from this store, they'll get a perfume free. So in that case, I've created the campaign by product. It should be for both the audience, start and end date. It is a free product. It works on the basis of quantity. There's no discount cap, and the name is buy one, get one free. It is enabled. But why it is not working on the front end? Because the date has expired. And this is where I've specified what is the product that they have to buy, how much quantity, and how much quantity maximum. So minimum is 1, maximum is 1. There's a product that they'll get free and how much quantity they'll get free. So that's how you have to offer free product, right? And his other question is related to cart. So this is again Bipinji's other question, and because we are discussing the scheme, so that's why I thought of answering that as well. So some websites allow add 1,000 products to the cart and automatically get a free product or a free gift. So this is the tool that you have to use. So you'll specify that this is the, let's say, smartwatch you're buying, let's say minimum 100 and maximum is like 1,000. And if you're buying more than 100 or 100 or more, then you'll get this product for free, absolutely free gift, right? So this is how you have to achieve that. So I think both your points are clear. Now we'll quickly go back on to the point that we were discussing. We were discussing about this Excel file or the other mandatory points. So I'll quickly walk you through each of the mandatory point. The price is very simple. You have to use the variant file where we discuss about checking the images. So in this file, you can see this is the file. In the selling price, you have discount price. And on the seller panel, if you have to check it manually, you can also do that. Click on the product title and it will show what is the pricing that you have updated. Obviously, why would you be uploading a product on 0 price? But just to check, you can do that. This is where you can see the price of the product, right? All right, so that was the mandatory point. Then each product should have different price, avoid multiple prices. So you can check using the Excel file what are the products. So this is like one product. Don't assume like you have also added multiple product with the same price. These are variations of the product. So small, medium, large, extra large. So these is one product, but different variation. So that's why you're seeing. But in this Excel file, you can easily apply a formula and you can check if there are multiple products that have the same price. All right. So that is about the second mandatory requirement. The brand name must be added to each product. Now, this is something that you may not have done on your website if you have already created that. So while you're uploading the product, you get a brand field. So you can add that. I will just show you that. So while you're, sorry, wrong option. If you are adding the product while you're uploading the product, you get a brand option to add a brand. You can add that. Right here. So this is the brand field. You have to click on add brand, type in the brand name and upload the logo of the brand. Uploading the logo is optional. So if you want to add, you can do that. Otherwise, you can ignore that. And as I mentioned, my internet is a little slow. So here you have to add the brand name. Logo is optional. If you have the logo, you can upload that. So this is while you're uploading the product, but you have already uploaded the products. You have literally thousands of products on your online store. Now, if you have to add brand, how will you do that? So firstly, you have to go to this section which says brands. You have to add the brand first. You'll go to brand, click on add brand, type in a brand name, upload the brand image, and then click on save. That will upload the brand onto the online store, right? So once the brand is added, then you'll go to the product section, download this file, download product file, which we had downloaded to discuss about the product description. This is the file. And here you have the brand column. Now you can type in the brand name. Just ensure that you're not making a spelling mistake, right? So it should be precisely what you have added on the seller panel. Just copy paste it to the products that you want to add, save this file and upload it back, and you'll be able to add the brand. All right. So that is related to the brand. Then make sure that you have ITCHS code. Same file. Here you have the column for adding ITCHS code. So you have to just type in or copy paste the HS code number here, save the file and upload it back on the seller panel. And then country of origin can easily be added here. This is where you have the country of origin. Again, input the details, save the file and upload it on the seller panel. And that's how you will be able to comply to all the mandatory requirements. Now, the last bit is mapping the category. Now, if you're uploading the products, sorry, I have to go back to the seller panel. I keep getting confused. Here we have the seller panel. So if you are uploading products manually, so in that case, you have to obviously specify the product category. This is where when Google GlobalLinker Marketplace product category I'm referring to, this is where the field is there, and you are already mapping the products to the category. For example, we're uploading a formal shoe, so in that case, you have to just and this is something which I'm sharing. This is something which I'm sharing with you with respect to the new products that you're uploading. So this is where you can see the option is there. So you can select that and you're uploading the product. This is what you are doing when you're uploading new products. But what about the existing products? So in that case, when you're enabling GlobalLinker Marketplace, that's where you are going to map them. Now, I am going to share with you how are you going to list your products on GlobalLinker Marketplace. For that, in the left navigation, you have to click on this option, which says GlobalLinker Marketplace, which will open this interface. On this interface, you will see various values here. Obviously, they will be zero if you're not listed on GlobalLinker Marketplace. And once you're listed, all these values will be changing or giving you insights onto what is happening. So it shows how many products are listed. So I have 55 products on this demonstration store and zero are listed. Then how many products are viewed by customers on GlobalLinker Marketplace, how many products are getting inquiries, and how many products are getting orders. All that is visible here. Now, down below here, this is where you'll see all your products are listed here. Now, the point which we were discussing earlier was that what if the product is already not mapped to the GlobalLinker category? So, for example, this is not mapped. So, in that case, what you have to do is you have to click on Add Category and you can type the category here. So, it is Basmati rice. And here it has started showing the option and we can select and we can click on Save. And the product category is updated like this. Now, what if you have multiple products? So, for example, we have these three products. And we have to map them. So you can select them using these radio buttons and you can click on update category. Again, the same process. You can select them like this and click on save. And the category is mapped. So you can do the mapping one product at a time, or you can do it in bulk. Both the options are available. Once you have mapped the product, and here you'll see these error signs. So these error signs are showing what are the issues with the product. So this where you can see it has, I have not added the category, and then less than 3 images are there, and it has insufficient product description. So 30 words, and that is not complying with. So that is something that you have to fix if the product does not have any issue. So for example, this product or this product, they don't have any issue, or this product also don't have any issue. So we can list them. If a product has an issue, it will have this red alert icon, and you can just hover your cursor on it and it will tell you what are the issues, and you can in fact edit it from here, or you can edit the product by clicking on this edit icon, right? So important point is, if the product has this red flag or red alert icon, it means there's an issue with the product and you will not be able to fix it. You'll not be able to list it. Once you have fixed the issue, obviously, then you can list it. So once you have done the category mapping, then you have to list the product. Again, that can be done one product at a time or in bulk. So for example, this sling bag, if I want to list it, I can then just click on the button. It will ask me to list it as inquiry product or as a inquiry and checkout product. What is the difference? So inquiry product is wherein customers who are seeing your product on GlobalLinker Marketplace, they'll only be able to send you an inquiry. But if you want to receive orders, so in that case, you have to select inquiry and checkout. But to do that, first you have to enable that. So enable that, you have to click on this settings icon on the top. It will ask for cancellation policy. This is the cancellation policy. You have to agree. Returns is enable. If you don't want to offer returns, you can disable it. You can click on save. This is the shipping policy, which is enabled, and the bank details you have to add, and then click on save. So once you've added the bank details and clicked on save, that's where this feature gets enabled, and then you will be able to list on your product as checkout also. All right. So that is for checkout related product. So if you're choosing to list them as inquiry, because obviously this is a demonstration store, so I'll not be able to list it for inquiry for checkout, and we have listed it for inquiry. So here you can see the product is sent for verification. Each product that gets listed on GlobalLinker Marketplace, it goes through a human verification wherein one of our team members reviews the product, and if everything is in order, it will get through. If there's any issue, if it is a restricted product, a banned product, or if there's a negative keyword in your product description, or if it is not mapped properly, mapping is something that we correct ourselves. But if there are any other issues related to the product, so for example, what we have seen is many sellers, they add the same image in all their product, right? So same image, same 4 or 5 images in every product that they have, they upload it, and obviously their product get rejected for that. So this is something which happens on a daily basis. So if you're listing or requesting today, hopefully by tomorrow morning, your products will be reviewed. And if everything is in order, it will get listed. So this will turn blue, and that will start showing here that how many products are listed. If it is rejected, you'll get a alert back that your product has been rejected with the reason why it is rejected, and then you can fix that and you can submit your product for relisting on GlobalLinker Marketplace. So this is how it works. Another important question which gets asked, and that is related to the checkout product. If you are doing checkout, then how does the settlement work? So settlement is done on the bank account. So this is where you can see the bank details. You have to input the bank details and add these cautiously. There shouldn't be a scenario you have made a mistake here and the fund goes to someone else's account. So add the details cautiously. So on in the bank account that you have provided here, the settlement is done, and the settlement is done after the end of return period. If there is a return period, if you're not providing a return after the delivery of the order, Once you have marked the order as delivered, after that, we will disburse the payment, and in 2 working days, it will be credited to your bank account. So that's how the settlement works. With respect to charges, at GlobalLinker Marketplace, we are currently not charging anything. In future, a nominal charge will be applied to obviously overcome the operational expenses, but that will again be very, very nominal. All right. So I think this is where I will turn off the screen share, and we'll get into the question answer round. So if you have already not added your question in the Q&A, please do that. Bipinji had added 2 questions, so I had already answered them while I was explaining of the pricing part. And there's one more question I can see. It is from a participant. They've added their initials as AM. So their question is, can we create categories to list product under category if we are doing different kinds of product? Yes, certainly you can do that. You can add as many categories as you want. So if you're dealing in different types of product, you can create separate categories and you can list the products. That feature functionality is already there. There's one more question I can see in the chat is again from Bipinji. If the product is stocked out, then we should unpublish the product, or we should only have it in on inquiry mode. So you can now you should keep it on inquiry mode only if there's a possibility that the product can come back in stock. So for example, there was a product and it has gone out of stock. So let's say this shirt has gone out of stock. So and it will be available in the next week. So you can just switch it to inquiry only, so that if there's a customer and they're wanting to buy the product, and they can reach out to you and you can tell them like it will be available and we'll be dispatching you, right? So you are not losing out on the customer. But if it is not going to come back ever in the stock, so it is better to remove it entirely. Another question which I can see in the Q&A is from Ranjan Shah, wants to understand about whether it is only for product or for services as well. So at the moment on GlobalLinker Marketplace, we are only listing products, but we will start services very soon, and we will let all our members know as soon as we get started. So my suggestion to Mr. Ranjan will be that you should create your online store and you should start using it to cater or attract potential customers and generate leads through that. And as soon as we start listing services on GlobalLinker Marketplace, we'll apprise you and you can immediately list your services on GlobalLinker Marketplace. I did mention to you that I will be sharing a tutorial video about how to create your digital catalog. So just give me a moment to share the link with you. And this video which I'm sharing with you, if you go to the description of that video, it is a YouTube video which I'm sharing with you. If you go to the description of that video, you will find links to other videos as well. In fact, all the relevant tutorials that you need. All the links are there. So you don't have to like go to multiple places to find the relevant information. It's all there. I'm accidentally misplaced the links. So I have to just take out the link once again. I will quickly do that. I've shared the link in the chat for how to create your digital catalog. And I am also going to share my contact details and our help desk contact details so that you can reach out to me. Just give me a quick second. Added my contact details. Also added the help desk contact details in the chat. So while you are trying to list your products on GlobalLinker Marketplace or while you're setting up your online store, if you're facing any difficulty, if you're facing any challenge, please do feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to our help desk, or you can even drop me an email and I'll get your concern, your query addressed. Another question I can see in the Q&A is from Mr. Patel, and he deals in industrial products which are made on order. So, Mr. Patel, my recommendation would be that you should list your products under inquiry. So, if there's a potential customer who's wanting to uh, buy your products, so they can send you an inquiries. You obviously do not have to receive an order because those are made to order products. You can receive an inquiry that this is there's a potential customer who's wanting to buy your product, and then you can reach out to them. Understand the requirement, your payment terms, etc., finalize everything, and then close the deal, right? So certainly you can list your products or offerings under inquiry. All right, so that was the last question I can see in the chat. A question which I can see in the chat is from Adi Krishna, and at what offer, when offer a product, at what price can we calculate GST? So if you're trying to understand, GST is calculated based on the MRP of the product, right? What was that the question, or on the sales values? Your question is on the sales value, or what was the question, or it is related to the commission? I am not clear on the question. What is the question, right? So on the sales value, you have to calculate. But actually, I'm not an expert in the GST calculation, so I think it will be better you uh, discuss this with a taxation expert, with your CA, and they'll be able to help you out. Otherwise, you can drop me an email and I'll have someone from our finance team respond back to you on this question. Any other last question before we conclude the session for today? We have already overshot our time, but I'm okay for one last question. Otherwise, we'll conclude this session for today, and I hope you found this session informative. You all will get the recording of today's session, and I will also add the help desk contact details in the recording. So if any one of you would like to connect or reach out to the help desk, you can do that. And my contact details are also with you. So if any one of you would like to connect with me to seek any advice on growing your business digitally, or if you would want to seek help with growing your business digitally, or with listing on GlobalLinker Marketplace or ONDC or Indian Business Portal, please do feel free to reach out. You have my email ID. All right, so this is where I don't see any new question coming. So this is where I think we should conclude this session. Thank you everyone for taking out your time and participating in this session. And this is, I believe, a beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. So I look forward to connecting with you personally as well, or at least in my next session that will be happening shortly. So thank you everyone for your taking out your time. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye bye from our side for now.